My name is Chris Blackham. For over 11 years, I've been working to deliver relief and development efforts across Africa. My journey has brought me to South Sudan, the newest country on earth, to understand the enormous challenges people here have accessing clean water. We're in South Sudan. As you can tell, we're in a very small plane, travelling from the south of the country, Juba, the capital, up to the north of the country, a place called Unity State. So South Sudan is the newest country on earth. 4 years ago it enjoyed its independence. There were scenes of jubilation, dancing in the streets, and there was immense joy. They finally got what they'd been searching for decades. Over 2 years ago, that jubilation turned into conflict. A political crisis erupted, and since then there's been fighting within the country that's spread across the whole of the nation. Families are having to leave their homes, leave their livelihoods, leave everything, and just move to somewhere which may stay safe for weeks and then move again. Water was already a problem here. For the last hour or so, all we've passed has been shrubs, dust, rocks, and dry riverbeds. More people don't have clean water here than do. But the fighting has made things much worse. If you imagine a borehole, a well, a water source that used to supply water to maybe a few hundred people, now as populations have moved and people have fled to safe zones, that same borehole will be providing water to a few thousand. People are resorting to having to just find any old dirty water that they can. So when we land, we're going to spend time meeting families who this is their daily reality. They have no clean water at the moment, and they're feeding their children dirty water. We're also going to see families who have been blessed with new boreholes or repaired boreholes, so they have clean water, and we're going to see the difference that makes to someone's life. We're heading out now, got a 3-4 hour drive on some bumpy roads to a place called Mankian, where we're going to meet with some families who live just collecting dirty water. So I'm really looking forward to meeting some of those families and finding out their struggles and their issues. It's taken us about 3.5–4 hours to get here on a really bumpy road. And as you can see around me from the thatch and the dirt on the ground here, this is a really dry place. The closest clean water source is hours walk away. So people here they're not able to make that journey. It's too far for them to go and come back. So what they do instead is they go to a dry riverbed a little way from here, and they dig down with their hands 1 or 2 meters until they hit some water there, and then they dip down buckets and pull up that dirty water. And that's the water that they use for cooking, for cleaning, for washing, and for drinking as well. So here's some of the water. This is not the type of water that you would expect to see coming out of your tap at home or to be served in a glass for you to drink, but this is the water that the families here are drinking every single day. Not only does it look disgusting, taste disgusting, but it's full of bacteria and is going to be causing, especially the children, some serious health problems. So we're going to chat to some of the families that have no choice. This is what they drink because they cannot drink anything else. So come with me and we're going to understand a bit more fully the challenges and the issues that they face.
Yalnga meri ni mura dar. Ta ga damba kal. Kaya teru ndangwal. Gwada. May kala mi ngoko kan pi. pi moi ko cham ko moi ko nyin be cái dân mi ra thì duy ngõ nó mà thôi til ko ma tei pa leo ko lo re ne ko mi hot ko jamon li adam ror ko e lo re ni kan pi ko ti kon til ko gwa mo gwa mo ma wen wa pi no tin e jen de go yu ngai go ka ma yu kon til ko gwa mo ma wen me ya ko me te do tin ma de fi ti go de ko ma tin bor ko no ko ma kan pi ti kon ya je.
So we've walked about 10 minutes to get here, and as you can see, this is their source of water. During the rainy season, what you see around me is a river. This is flowing, it's deep, it's wide. But now in the middle of dry season, all the water has dried up and you have to dig down to find the water level. So if I look down here, it's only a matter of feet before you hit the water, but the quality of the water, as you can see, is pretty disgusting. I asked them what the water tastes like, and they said it tastes like fermented milk. That doesn't sound like a very good taste to me. I can only imagine. We're not used to this. It's completely alien to us at home. We turn on a tap and we see beautiful, clean water just flow out. It's simple. For them, they have to dig a hole, they have to draw water, they have to walk back. It's such an immense ordeal. And even with all that, what they're actually getting at the end of it is horrible water, which is making them sick every single day. I feel guilty doing this because all I'm thinking about right now is how sunburnt I'm getting in this ridiculously hot weather. Yet Mary here does this walk 3 times every single day with 20 kgs of water on her head. I can't even imagine what that's like. Can't even imagine what that's like for myself, let alone what it's like for her with the responsibility of all of her children and their health as her primary concern, being 7 months pregnant. So what we've seen just now, this is dry season, we've seen them picking water from beneath the surface, but in the rainy season, this whole place floods. So everything that you see on the ground here right now, feces everywhere, that all gets washed straight into the river, and that's where they pick their water from. So not only are they drinking water that looks disgusting, but in the rainy season, it's not coming from underground, it's coming from on top of the ground, mixed with human, goats, cattle, everything, feces. There's not really much else to say about that. Mary's story that we've heard today isn't unique. Mary is one of a kind, Mary is a unique person, but her story is not. There's thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, just like her in the same position, who have to collect dirty water, go through an immense amount of effort to get something which simply makes them sick. It's easy to imagine after hearing a story like Mary's, the scale of transformation that could happen in her life and could happen in her family's life if only she was afforded the choice of clean water and not dirty water. We heard last night about a camp in Abiemnon County, which is being constructed at the moment, and I've never seen one which is in this process of being constructed. So I'm really eager to chat to some of the families who are building their homes there, to hear what their expectations are about what life is going to be like in this new place for them, having fled the conflict in their homes. I'm also really eager to find out what the water situation is like, because I've seen in camps like this before, water sources get really overcrowded very, very quickly, and the sanitation situation deteriorate rapidly. So this is James Madjuet. He's the coordinator for the Relief and Rehabilitation Commission here in Abiemnom County. James, what am I seeing around me? We see many houses here and people working. What is this place?
So those people, they are IDPs. So different counties in United States. They moved from United States to Abiemnom.
Okay, so why did they come here?
When the war is broken in United States, most of the different counties, they move to run here to save themselves.
So this is a camp which is being built for how many people will be here?
We registered 402 households, individual 4,025.
Okay, okay.
So those people are in a big problem in it. So most of them, they need water. Yeah.
So as you can see, this place is going to hold a lot of people. Around 4,000 people are going to be living here. You can see the structures going up all around me. Apparently the first people will start to actually live here and settle here before this weekend, so in a matter of days. I spoke to Angelina, a mother of 10, who's just one of those thousands of displaced people who has moved here. So what made you decide to leave your home and come here?
We ran away because of anger and war. They came here for rescue.
So before, when life was good, you had food to eat. Did you have clean water?
La So at that time, we stay in our area. We have borehole, but when this war start, it is now all the borehole have been broken even.
What is it like here now?
Since we came here in this area, now we just collect these wild fruits and then we eat. We don't have food.
And what about water?
Most of us here, we fetch water outside this in a far distance, and now whenever you leave the children, they are now remaining here alone.
Okay. How long do you have to walk for?
Now he said we can just work almost 6 hours to go and fetch water.
How long?
6 an hour.
6 hours?
Yeah.
So you're gone for 6 hours,
Yeah.
and your children have to remain here? Okay.
So now what we need is to give us a borehole in our area here.
What will happen if you don't get any clean water here?
So now, since when we start drinking this water, now most of the people have been admitted in the hospital because of dirty water.
So people are already getting sick because of the dirty water that you walk 6 hours to fetch each day. I would not be surprised if in a few months' time there's cholera outbreaks here and people are suffering severe health problems. But this is life. This is better than where they were. They were forced to flee their homes with only the bags that they could carry with them. This is a place of safety for them. It's sobering to think that this place of safety, actually without clean water, could be just as dangerous as where they fled from. We saw some clean water wells during our travels, but many have fallen into disrepair. Others completely destroyed because of the fighting, and the remaining ones increasingly congested due to the high demand. When more people use a water point than it was designed for, it breaks down. So it's only a matter of time before this one and ones like it here in the town centre stop working and people no longer have clean water. Behind me you see 95 jerry cans. Each one of those jerry cans is going to take about 2.5 minutes to fill with clean water. That means that some people will be waiting here up to 4 hours before they get a drink. Now, I can't think of anything that I wait 4 hours for back home. Nothing. I can't think of anything that I wait that long for, let alone something as essential and basic and life-saving as clean water. What does a 4-hour wait mean for a pregnant lady who's a couple of months away from giving birth, standing out in 40-degree heat? What does it mean to a father who has to bring in money to sustain his household, giving up 4 hours every day to collect clean water? What does it mean for a child who has to forfeit going to school because he or she needs to get clean water? A number of people, because the queues take so much time, are deciding not to wait 4 hours for clean water, but to default back to the river where they got water before this borehole was put in. A river which is shared by cattle and by goats, which has the runoff when it rains of all the dirt on the ground that you see around me. A river that, if people drink the water from it, they will get sick and could even die. But that's the choice people are making because this borehole has too many people using it. Those kind of choices are not choices that we face back home. We have school, we have jobs, we have water in our homes. We don't face such stark decisions day after day after day, but this is the reality for people here. The drill rig that you see behind me has drilled over 250 wells here in South Sudan over the last 4 or 5 years. Early last year, it travelled 100 kilometres to a village called Boro Boro to bring clean water to about 700 people there. Today, we're going to retrace that journey and go and speak to some of those families and find out the transformation that clean water has brought to their lives. So we've just arrived and the community have come out to greet us. So we're going to go meet them and then we're going to have a look at a borehole here which Samaritan's Purse drilled about a year ago to provide clean water to them and their families. So here's the well that was drilled back in March in 2015. As you can see, there's fencing which the community have built around this well. That's to protect it from the animals. One of the big problems with many wells here in South Sudan is without protection, all the animals come in and start contaminating the water as people pick it from the well. So it defeats the object of providing clean water. So let's have a look inside. Godfrey, how are you?
I'm okay.
This is Godfrey. Godfrey's the program manager for Samaritan's Purse in Northwest Unity State. Godfrey, it looks fairly simple. Looks like a bit of concrete, a hand pump here, but can you help us understand a bit more what is underneath this and what goes into building something like this?
Yeah, thank you very much, Chris. What happens is when a village is assessed and we see that there is need for safe water, what we do is we mobilize our equipment, and the equipment include the drilling rig, the compressor, and some support trucks that always bring the human resource that have to man this equipment to make sure that this well is drilled. So what happens is when the trucks get here, it is the drilling rig that first of all is put vertically, just to ensure that we target specifically the spot that we want to put the borehole. So that rig does what we call the rotary motion, digging deeper. Meanwhile, the compressor keeps pumping out the dirt that allows the well to keep going down and down and down until we hit the water stratum down. And for this well, this is about 60 meters deep, and we were able to develop it, and you can see how clean the water is as well, as you can see. Right.
It's quite easy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so I can see the water's flowing really nicely there. It's a lot of work goes into this. So how many people around in this village are actually using this pump?
This village of Boroboro has a population of 700 people, and all of them depend on this borehole.
Okay, so what were they doing back before last year?
Yeah, what was happening is we have a stream just right behind us, and this is where the community were really drawing their water for all their domestic use. They would drink that water, they would use it for washing, they would use it for cooking, and all the other domestic uses of water that you may know here.
Okay, so a stream, I'm assuming that was pretty dirty.
Absolutely.
Okay, what kind of problems was that causing people here?
Yeah, in this village, of course, the dirty water was really making many of them sick, especially the children.
Have you noticed a difference in the family's health here?
Absolutely, absolutely. For the families that are benefiting from this, they're looking healthy, they're looking much, cleaner, body-wise, and you can see that life has changed because of this borehole here.
Fantastic. So 700 families here are benefiting from clean water when they used to drink dirty water and get sick. Thank you, Godfrey. We're going to now chat to one of those families and hear their story of how their life has changed because of this clean water. So Mary, about a year ago, Samaritan's Purse came and drilled a borehole here to bring clean water. Can you describe for me what life was like before you had clean water?
Kon tame la gol tame la ta yer cham ko sol ko me abu wa ba pidi ji ba ko chati be ji ja ko muy cham aba te toy kon dia tan pi are ger ki enje la te kon la bud ko je te ta ba kai gwai re yer ai kira de kon re yer ba kai kan kami bur birar ba makiri fi ko makiri ka jam ga be me ji ba be jere fi ne tor ba ga do mo isa.
That's wonderful. That must make you feel very happy as a mother.
Pesa ko medan bele jien bele wona char benana wala mo bur baba garu ba ji chu ke dum fin yi ko kam dila yi ko ko no ne seka ya ga ka ba jom ke bi jien mo joga jom ho bi ba ma sham be jien no dun dien nan wa wa nan beno baba je kan teka.
Mary's story is a story that needs to be replicated. For me, when I look around and I see the smiling faces, the clear skin, the healthy people as a result of clean water, then it's simple, even though it takes a lot of effort, a lot of time and a lot of money to put in a new well to provide clean water to a community like this. It's all worth it when I hear the stories of transformation like Mary's. For me, the choice is clear. Organisations like Samaritan's Purse have been working to bring water to the people of South Sudan for many years. Water, sanitation and hygiene specialist Joseph Akech has seen the real difference it makes.
In the Bible, if you look at Isaiah chapter 12:3, that says, "You will joyously draw water from the spring of salvation." That particular verse gave me the hope of helping the needy people in the water department, mainly for the people who have not seen life. It's my hope everyone has the bright future and everybody has a right for clean water and safe drinking water.
In Matthew chapter 25, Jesus says, I was thirsty and you gave me something to drink. And those around him asked the question, Lord, when did we see you thirsty and give you something to drink? And Jesus replies, whatever you did to the least of these, you did to me. What an amazing challenge that is when I think about all of the families that I've met over the last few days. I find it really difficult to imagine what it must be like to have to make a decision to give my children dirty water to drink, knowing that they're going to get sick because of it. Before coming here, I'd have probably argued till the cows came home that that was completely irresponsible parenting and should never happen. But I've never faced such desperation. I've never faced such stark choices. Water is precious, and clean water completely transforms lives. I've met women who no longer have to be afraid of being raped because of the long distances they have to walk to get water. I've met children who can finally go to school for the first time because they're no longer sick. I've met men who are willing to risk their lives to help those in need. And I've met families who have hope for the very first time, and all because of clean water. It's not easy, it's not simple, and it's not cheap. But each smiling face that I've met here makes the huge task of providing clean water totally worth it. So the next time you go to your kitchen sink and turn on the tap to pour yourself a nice glass of clear, cold water to drink, take a few moments to remember just how tough it is for people here in South Sudan who lack the most basic of human needs: safe, clean water.